Tennis has never been this measurable. Every movement, every decision, every weapon, quantified. So what happens when you take all that data, strip away the opinions and the bias, and build the perfect tennis player from scratch? A player who'd win every Grand Slam, every Masters 1000, and barely drop a set. Today, we're building two versions, the all-time complete player forged from decades of dominance, and the modern version powered by the analytics era. Let's find out who truly is the GOAT of GOATs. First up, the most important shot in tennis, the serve. It's the one shot guaranteed to happen every point, and creating an advantage off that first bowl is one of the biggest predictors of success. You might think of Kyrgios, Roddick, or Federer's underrated precision, but when you crunch the numbers, there's one clear outlier: Ivo Karlovic. Across his career, Karlovic held serve 92% of the time, the highest mark in ATP history. He finished with 13,728 aces, just behind John Isner's all-time record of 14,470, but in around 80 fewer matches. On a per-match basis, Karlovic averaged nearly 20 aces every time he stepped on court, a level of efficiency we may never see again. Isner's serve was statistically cleaner, with fewer double faults and a slightly higher second serve rating, but overall, Karlovic's raw numbers give him the edge. If it was a perfect world, we would combine Karlovic's first serve with Isner's second and create something completely unreturnable. In the modern game, we can measure more than just aces. Tennis Data Innovations grades every serve out of 10 based on speed, spin, placement, and bounce, called serve shot quality. And believe it or not, Novak Djokovic tops that leaderboard. It proves that disguise and accuracy can be just as devastating as power. Players like Taylor Fritz and Hubert Hurkacz rank high too, but when you account for who Novak's facing, the best returners in the world, his serve still stands up. You could also make the case for Jannik Sinner here too. He's held an absurd 91.6% of his service games over the past 2 seasons, elite by any standard. But it's tough to separate how much of that comes from his serves versus how dominant he is overall. So for serve, we'll give it to Djokovic for precision and Karlovic for pure firepower. Holding serve is one thing, breaking it is a completely different story. And that's where the big servers always fell short. And when it comes to returning, the all-time pick has to be Novak Djokovic. He's not just a great returner, he's the benchmark. He's the only player ranked near the top for return points across hard, grass, and clay year after year. Nadal actually edges him in some of the categories. His career return games won sits around 33%, helped by 2 decades of clay dominance. But when you strip away surface bias, Djokovic is the only one who stays elite everywhere. There are definitely better specialists, but no one is more complete than Djokovic at the return. Early in 2025, Alex de Minaur shocked everyone by breaking serve in over 31% of his return games, the best rate on tour. But by mid-season, the Alcaraz duo overtook him. Sinner ended up breaking roughly 33% of all return games, meaning 1 in 3 service games he faced ended with a break. In a power-based era, that's outrageous. From there, we move to the shot that defines modern tennis, the forehand. When you talk about forehands, there are plenty of names that spring to mind. Federer, Del Potro, Gonzalez. What about Rafael Nadal? He just has to be the all-time pick. His forehand wasn't just powerful, it was physics-breaking. Measured at an average of 3,200 revolutions per minute, with peaks above 5,000, Nadal's topspin created a margin of safety that simply didn't exist before. That combination of spin, control, and weight of shot gave him one of the best winner-to-error ratios ever recorded. In the modern game, you would think the forehand crown would go to the other Spaniard, but in fact, it goes to Jannik Sinner. According to Tennis Data Innovations, his forehand averages 125 km per hour, compared to the tour average of 117, while still spinning at nearly 3,000 revolutions per minute. It's flatter, cleaner, and more direct, and his shot quality rating ranked number 1 in 2024. If Nadal's forehand was brutal, Sinner's is devastating. Different methods, same destruction. The backhand might not be as glamorous, but it wins championships. And to no surprise, the all-time pick is Novak Djokovic. For over 15 years, his two-handed backhand has been the gold standard. It's consistent, it's versatile, and it holds up under any pressure. Statistically, it's even more impressive. According to Match Charting Project, opponents win significantly fewer points when rallying into Djokovic's backhand compared to the tour average. It's a literal brick wall for offense. In Ingram's shot quality model, his backhand ranks among the highest of any player since 1990, combining pace, accuracy, and consistency with almost zero variance under pressure. And in the current era, the backhand torch has been passed to Jannik Sinner. TDI ranked it the best backhand in the world in 2024, outpacing Djokovic's in both pace and control. It's compact, repeatable, and effortless, a modern clone of Djokovic's foundation with even sharper edge. Sinner is casually setting a new standard in ground strokes for the modern era. Moving away from brute force and into something with a little bit more finesse, the slice. There's one person that springs to mind, and that's Roger Federer. Across more than 700 charted matches, data shows Federer's slice didn't just reset rallies, it controlled them. He used it to change tempo, take time away, and draw short bowls. It was a tactical weapon, not just a bailout shot. But do we have a modern version? This one's a bit harder, but the numbers point towards Grigor Dimitrov, aka Baby Fed. He hits slice on over 50% of his backhand exchanges, nearly triple the tour average. When it comes to finishing points, Federer pops up again. His volley success rate ranks among the highest of any baseliner in the modern era, and his approach shot selection was almost algorithmic. He blended old-school touch with modern precision, and when the ball went up, Pete Sampras finished it off better than anyone. In the modern game, Carlos Alcaraz is the best at bringing that forward game back. He wins close to 80% of his net points, and his transitions are lightning quick. He might be the first player since Federer who can dominate baseline rallies and finish like a serve and volleyer. Movement and defense separate the greats from the legends. It's not about how fast you are, it's about what you can do with that speed. That's why Novak Djokovic gets the nod again. Modern analytics call it steal score, how often a player wins points when starting on defense. Djokovic has ranked near the top for years, and when you pair that with the conversion score, points won when attacking, he's one of the only players elite in both. That's the magic. He doesn't just survive the bad positions, he turns them into winners. And right now, Carlos Alcaraz is the only player keeping pace. He's top tier in both steal and conversion metrics too, combining raw speed with the confidence to attack off the back foot. He's the only player since Novak who can win points that physics simply say he shouldn't. Then there's mental toughness, the category that defines legacies. It's the metric that separates the greats from the almost greats. You could give a quiet nod to Rafael Nadal, but Novak Djokovic sits alone here. The ATP's under pressure rating, which combines breakpoints saved, tie-break records, and deciding sets, has Djokovic in the top tier nearly every year. At a dominant finals record and a career's worth of 5-set wins, and the data backs what we already know. Nobody handles pressure better. But Carlos Alcaraz isn't far behind. As of 2025, he has a 14-1 record in 5-set matches, the best percentage ever for anyone with that many. And he started off his Slam finals going 6-0 before finally falling to Sinner in Wimbledon 2025. If anyone's built to inherit Djokovic's mentality, it's him. So here it is, the perfect builds, the all-time complete player, and the modern complete player. If you stitched all of those traits into one body, you'd have Karlovic's serve, Djokovic's return and backhand, Nadal's forehand, and Federer's finesse. And on the modern end, you basically have Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. And what's scary is, the gap between that fantasy and reality is closing fast. The perfect player might not just be an idea anymore. They might already be walking among us. We just haven't seen them in final form yet. If you built your perfect player from scratch, what would it look like? Let me know in the comments below.